Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BetSperts, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and back from sick leave, was able to do the deep dive yesterday. He's here today. We'll try not to put too much pressure on Andy. He's not 100%. But anything here to say to the people, Andy, just to let them know you're okay?
If you no.
Hot start.
Yeah, if you only ingest cough medicine, cold medicine, cough drops, and Gatorades for 3 days, you will have diarrhea. That is how I'm feeling right now. So I'm feeling better here, but my tummy, I have the bubble guts.
Let's clip this for the TikTok.
Yeah, my stomach is just gurgling constantly. Like, I need some food now. I think today might be the day I eat some food. Pho. I did have pho the other day, actually, for real. Like, I need some soup. That's probably the only real food I've eaten in the last couple days. Just been sleeping, waking up, freezing cold, waking up, boiling hot. I tested for COVID. That's the first, what is it? It is almost 2023. It's the first test I've ever taken.
Really?
Yeah. I never tested before. Because, when the whole house would get sick, usually I wouldn't. And I'd be like, well, you guys take tests. And that would come up negative. And be like, all right, well, I don't have it then. Or one time it was positive. I'm like, I probably have it. I'm not going to waste one. I did it myself. I took the thing and put it way back in my nose.
Oh, boy.
I don't care.
Always makes me sneeze.
But let's bet on stuff.
Yeah. Let's welcome Andy back.
Football game last night, by the way. Horrible until the end, I guess.
I was
good
out
first
with
quarter, good last drive. Everything in between.
We had a nice little BetSperts Chicago crew watch party, Christmas party, whatever you want to call it, at a bar around here, and we were watching together. And Andy, you live in Minnesota.
5 quick hours.
To just express how irritating our boss Reed is, he decided right before the punt, and that pinned Baker down at the 2 to hop on the Rams live money line at plus 540. So that hit. Not only did that hit my minus 10 or my minus 9.5 live bet, which was going well all game, did not hit, and then Reed hits a plus 540 money line winner on Baker Mayfield going 98 yards.
Nice and easy.
What are you gonna do? Well, I bet the second half, 10 hours before the game started.
I heard, yeah, nailed that one.
That turned out well. That was actually like a real angle that wasn't just serendipity, but I did bet some Rams live in the first half. I had some plus 11. I passed out when it was like 16-3 and woke up to a nice surprise. Honestly, I'm like, well, that's not right, is it? Am I looking at the wrong score? What happened here? They hadn't moved the ball all game. So good job to the Rams. If you had Rams plus 6, our friend Dogma was on that. So a little worried about that line for most of the game. Who was the first touchdown scorer?
Somebody not on my list.
Yeah, it would have been someone.
It was Jacobs. Yeah, it was just from the one. Just run from the 1 yard line.
Oh man, I didn't even check my fantasy lineups for this week. I always forget to do that on Thursdays. I would not have taken Josh Jacobs out of my lineup. Like that's not like I was resting him last week. So I'm sure I got the points for him. Although, God, didn't he have like 99 yards
last night?
Yeah, we have a bonus for over 100. That's annoying. All right,
sorry.
What's up first? Should we do the NBA?
Yeah,
let's get into it. Friday night, a little basketball. You got to do something tonight. No football tonight, as far as I'm aware, but a bunch of basketball, some unders and underdogs for me. Go start with the Orlando Magic. Plus 8.5. This Orlando Magic team looks like it's down to 8. I would play honestly anything 7 or better. Had this game closer to 5 myself. Magic have been solid at home, much better this season when they actually have guards. We're dealing with a cluster injury to Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, and Markelle Fultz for basically the first month or so of the season. They have Cole Anthony and Fultz back. Suggs is still missing. No Wendell Carter Jr., but overall, this Magic team has been playing solid basketball, and they play a Raptors team that has been awful on the road this year. Just 3-9 straight up on the road for the Toronto Raptors this year. For some reason, really not comfortable south of the border. And, my numbers like this, it looks like a good situation. Can't see any sort of rest or maybe look-ahead angles, for the Magic. Obviously, as a bad team, they're trying to win every single night, but love this Magic plus 8.5 tonight. Again, would play this anything 7 or higher. Looks like there's still some 8s out there. Wizards and Pacers under 2 233. Seeing a 234 here. Some money coming in on the over. No Bradley Beal for the Wizards generally means you see a much slower pace. The Wizards really grind out those games, get more possessions running through Porzingis, which is slower, more possessions running through Kuzma, which is a little bit slower. So I think we'll see a lower pace here now. Indiana, to their name, has played at a pretty quick pace, especially with Tyrese Halliburton back this year, but doesn't look like Miles Turner is going to play. He's been a real positive for them on both ends of the floor. Just looks like it should be a very slow game to me. Had this in the high 220s as opposed to, again, we're looking at the mid 230s right now. So anything 232 or higher, I would go under in that game. Pistons, team total under. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just going to keep betting this until they adjust it down. I'm not sure why this number isn't closer to 105. 104.5 is what I started off with when I looked at my numbers this morning. No Kate Cunningham. No points for this Pistons team. It is a really short bench. Jaden Ivey's been fun. It's good to see Marvin Bagley Jr. playing basketball, but they really struggle to put up points, and I see no reason to expect them to score tonight against a Memphis Grizzlies team that has really started to lock down defensively. No Desmond Bane. Obviously not as good for the Grizzlies, but they've really slowed these games down, done a good job of holding lesser opponents to fewer and fewer points. So Pistons team total over 108.5. And again, we'll probably just keep playing this until they put up a 105 or even a 106 or something. I don't know. Pelicans, like the Pelicans tonight as underdogs against the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul did play the other night for the Phoenix Suns. Wonder if maybe they hold him out tonight. But whether he is in or not, the Pelicans look like one of the best, if not the best team in the Western Conference. Yes, no Brandon Ingram tonight, but as long as they've had two of the three of Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and CJ McCollum, they continue to be great night in and night out. I think this is a good matchup for them. There's not really anybody on this Phoenix Suns team that is going to stop them in terms of the scoring at the basket, which is what Zion likes to do. I think he'll have a big game tonight against DeAndre Ayton. Ayton's a solid offensive player, but again, just from a matchup perspective, really like the Pelicans. My numbers had the Pelicans favorite, so New Orleans plus anything on the money line looks good to me. So Magic plus 8.5, Wizards Pacers under 233, Pistons team total under 108.5, and the Pelicans plus 110 tonight in the association.
Just waiting for Brazil to do something here. This is annoying.
Just Croatia just going to park the bus for like the third game in a row or something.
Yeah.
What time did that game start? 10 o'clock?
Like forever ago.
9 years.
Are you in Michigan?
Oh, no. I'm in Chicago.
Okay, then 9 o'clock.
Oh.
All right. Dan is pointing out there are 0-0, as is common in a lot of these soccer matches. Although Brazil, I'm sure, has a pretty high XG. They've put a bunch of shots on goal. They have 10 minutes to find one. The draw is live. All right. Hockey me.
I
was telling Matt this. I did bet some hockey this week, but it was KHL because
the Kelly Hockey League.
The Kelly Hockey League. Yeah, I talked Kelly into giving me a play earlier in the week. He's like, fine, because I helped him redesign a map of the teams. The KHL is a mess. So the KHL is the Russian Hockey League, but there was a Chinese team.
They let anybody in.
A Finnish team, an Estonian team, maybe a Czech team, but a couple of the Eastern European
going to China.
Yeah, a couple. Oh, yeah, because a lot of it's not like there's a bunch of teams out in Siberia. They're all up around the Urals. So yeah, I think a couple of the Eastern European teams just quit the league because like we're not playing with you guys. If you're going to be invading the Ukraine, like we're out. We're done with your league there, Putin. So it's a bit of a weird league, but I've had fun. And now I just want to bet normal American hockey on a normal size sheet of ice.
There was a piece, I think it was in the Players Tribune. Ryan Whitney was a former, the Barstool guy now, but he's a former hockey player forever, played like his last year of hockey in the KHL, and he did a Players Tribune piece on it. It's a couple years ago now. It was just fascinating how different and how just kind of janky playing over there was. But we do have a few hockey games tonight. I know Noops had some unders. I got a couple overs just because it's Friday night and who wants to watch hockey and root for goaltending. We're going to take the Penguins Sabres over 7. That's a high total, but they're giving us some value here. The Sabres games feature a lot of goals. In their last 8, 7 of the 8 games have hit 8 or more. in their last 5 games. All 5 have been 9 goals or seen 9 or more goals scored. Their last game, they beat Columbus 9-4. And Andy, do you know who Tage Thompson is?
I was just going to ask you if it's Tag or Tage.
I believe
he
it's
scored
Tage.
like 5.
He had 5 goals against Columbus the other night. So that the Sabres score a lot of goals. They're averaging right on the dot 4 goals a game this year. They're also allowing 3.7. So when you watch Sabres games, there's some fireworks, and they're playing the Penguins tonight, who also like to score a lot of goals and allow a lot of goals. They're allowing over 3 a game. They're scoring just over 3.5. They've scored 14 goals combined in their last 3 games. They're actually playing really good hockey too after a slow start. So we're going to take the over 7 at some plus money here, root for some fireworks, because I think we're going to see some fireworks tonight. The way these two teams have been playing suggests that we will. And then we're going to go with the Jets team total over 3.5 against the Blackhawks at plus 126. Andy, you still owe me a Hawks game, by the way. Was debating going back and forth, taking the Jets team total over 3.5 or the Blackhawks team total under 2.5, which was like plus 108 or something like that. I just went with the higher value. The Blackhawks have been shut out in each of their last 2 games. They haven't scored in 2 games. Thinking I actually might take both of these, to be honest with you. The Jets have scored 5 goals in 4 of their last 5 games. They're scoring a lot this season. They're averaging just under 3.4 goals a game. The Hawks are allowing close to 3.6. And these two teams just played a couple games ago, and the Jets absolutely throttled them. I think it was like 7-2 or 7-3 or something like that. So we're going to take the Jets team total over there. It's in plus money. We're going to take a plus money over 7 in Penguins Sabres, and I like these a lot.
I can take that. I like hockey.
Yeah, take some overs on a Friday night. What else are we going to do?
I'm just parlaying them.
I like it.
All right. Well, I need to get some soccer money back because it doesn't look like Brazil's going to win. I was half right.
Well, they're not going to win or not going to win in regulation?
Not going to win in regulation.
Gotcha.
Well,
gotcha.
Who knows? I don't know. So they're going to have to play it's going to be a pretty wide open extra time. And they took out Vinicius Jr. They took out Rafinha. They took out Richarlison. I don't know how to say some of these names all that well, but I don't know. They're a great. They're a deep team.
I think it sounded great.
Things should be fine. Honestly, I think they find one in the next 5 minutes here. I have full faith in my Brazilian friends here. Otherwise, the afternoon match, I didn't quite know what to make of this. The total is a little lower, 2.25. What is the antithesis of goals? It is, of course, corner kicks. Mm-hmm. That is the defense. And both of these teams have been involved in a couple of matches. I think it was Argentina-Poland, maybe, where I think Argentina has 2 separate matches where they have had 9 corners themselves. I do think you see a bit of a cagier match here. They both have very good strikers, but these teams have, I don't know, just from what I've watched, they've gotten back quickly and defended the ball well. That's why they're here in the quarterfinals. They've played some good teams. Well, I mean, the Netherlands hasn't, but they've gotten through to this point by beating teams that they should and defending well. So I do believe in the over 8.5 corners, and I've yet to lose a corners bet in this World Cup. In fact, I've had some easy ones. I had an over 4.5 in the first half. There's like 7 or 8. It was just embarrassingly easy. So I think this one's I think this is a lock, stock, and put it in your pocket. Buy your kids some Merry Christmas with this one.
Is that a 1:00 start for that game?
Honestly, I don't know.
2 p.m. Eastern.
I don't even know.
So 1:00 for you guys, yeah.
Yeah,
Andy, you're a trooper right now. I think I'm going to take that bet. I
don't like. I'm starting to feel good, but honestly, I think that I have so much Dayquil in me. Essentially, that stuff's it's like half meth, right?
Probably.
Like that's what you make meth out of.
No,
right?
you can just turn it into meth.
Okay, well, it works. If you don't eat anything and you just hammer Dayquil, that vitamin D.
Eat something, Andy. Let's get you.
I'm going to have some lunch. I know.
Let's order you some Culvers.
I gotta go take the kids shopping for the wife's birthday. Kids gotta get them presents. What's that leave us with? Tennis. How are we still playing tennis in the middle of winter?
Amazing.
We're always playing tennis.
It's just a miracle.
Tennis.
What is the surface, and is it indoor or outdoor? I'm not caught up.
Indoor hard courts in France.
Is it Angers?
It is still Angers.
I thought it was Angers, and I was told I was wrong.
That's probably
Angers.
It's French. You try to say something. This match will start nice and early tomorrow morning. Friedsom, Kalinina should be a really competitive match. These numbers have moved a bit since this line opened up this morning, so poke around, see if you can still get this. First set over 9.5 games. I'm looking at minus 120 right now. Would play this at minus 15 or better, so see if you have that there. Again, expect this to be a very competitive match. The total opened up around 21, is closer to 22 right now, so pretty quick adjustment by the market this morning. But poke around, I think you'll still be able to find an over 9.5 games at minus 15 or so. Again, everything points to a 6-4, 7-5, 7-6 kind of set here for both of these women. Have served well all week, especially being indoors. It's much easier to do that. And then over 2.5 sets. Happy to play this anytime I can find it. Honestly, plus 150 or better. I think this number's moved a little bit. There's still some plus 155s, plus 160s out there. Either of those numbers are fine. Again, I think we'll have a pretty competitive match here, but instead of trying to bet, that total of 21.5, 22, which looks pretty solid to me, both of these look like much better angles. I think it's going to be hard, honestly, to hit that 22 if they don't go 3 sets or without that first set going over 9.5. So like both of these angles, see some value in it. Like to see, again, a little confirmation from the market when we've got a total of 22. It's try to figure out those valuations again. That always kind of shows you how things are going. So again, first set over 9.5 games would play that at minus 115 or better. Over 2.5 sets would play that at plus 155 or better. Should be early tomorrow morning.
Sure.
So
Tage. All right, we betting doing the American thing and betting the under again.
We are going to bet. That's what I just told Dan to throw up the graphic here for Army Navy because I didn't really have like a hardcore concrete pick. But going through the series score and all that, like I know this is a low total. And Dan and I talked about this yesterday on the college football show. Like the books are onto us. Everybody knows that you're going to bet the unders in military games. But like it's still hitting. They keep lowering these and they still keep kind of cruising. Like Army and Air Force's game was 13-7. Navy and Air Force, I believe, went way under as well. I think 4 of the last 5 of these Army Navy games have gone under 32.5. My only worry is the weather is supposed to be pretty nice in Philly. Nice for December, but it's like, mid 30s, low 40s and sunny. There's not going to be really any precipitation, but like, I don't know, it's American to bet the under in Army Navy. It's our, defense departments going at it, and we're going to take them to play good defense. That's what they do. That's what the Army and the Navy do. They're going to run the ball a million times. The clock's going to run really, really fast, and we're going to take the under 32.5.
So anyone who watches the old Deep Dive football podcast knows I like a good teaser. And we always say don't tease totals. Don't tease.
This is a total worth teasing.
Yeah, I said, well, don't tease college football either because of the high variance nature of the game. We say an NFL football game lands on 3 18% of the time. Lands on 7 quite a bit as well. I don't have the updated numbers on that, but that's why the 3 is so important. That's why teasing through the 3, the 7 is super important, and having a lower total brings in less variance. So that's why some of the higher totaled NFL games, even though they're on a Wong teaser spot, aren't the best. Our friend from the internet, plus EV Analytics, an actuary from Canada, has pointed out. He's like, I know you're not supposed to bet college football teasers, but he's like, Army is in a Wong zone with a total of 32 plus, so you get plus 2.5 in Army. He's like, and then Kentucky is also plus 2.5, and that total is 31. He's like, how is this minus EV? How can this possibly not be at least a decent bet at minus 110? And I didn't have an answer. I couldn't say don't do it. Don't, you shouldn't. Like honestly, with totals that low, there's probably a diminishing return on betting favorites down with a low total from like 8 to 2 or 7.5 to 1.5. But truthfully, I think that's a good teaser, and I placed it. So I have a Kentucky plus 8.5. Army plus 8.5 teaser.
I like that. Honestly, I would think about doing the same thing with both of those unders and tease that under to 38.5 and Kentucky to 37. The Kentucky with 37.5. Would that be right?
We call it the Iron Cross. When you bet the total both ways, you go Army plus 8.5, Navy plus 4. When it lands, when a game lands where any which way you would have teased, it lands on all 4 ways would have won. We call it the old Iron Cross, which is a way to lose a lot of money in craps.
Dan makes a good point. Dan makes a
Don't
good
Google
point here
that.
too. Kentucky's quarterback opted out and he sucks, but their backups are bad too.
I think that's half the reason. Yeah, I looked into that game a little. I think that's half the reason the total is so low. Obviously,
It
the
was
other
low
half-
before they knew Will Levis.
Well,
Will Levis
the other
opted out.
half is the fact that they're playing Iowa.
It's also
Who's
funny that like even
such
with Will
football
Levis
back.
before he opted out, the total was like around 32, 33 and a half. Like he's not very good. He's still, for whatever reason, like the number 3 overall prospect in the NFL draft this year, but he stinks.
I know. I've seen people bet him to go first overall.
It's like I don't.
Matt Ryan must be one of them. He's right there.
He's a big fan. I don't get the hype, but that's neither here nor there. That's for
I'm
another
not
time.
good at evaluating college quarterbacks. I was a big Sam Rosen. Sam Rosen.
I like Sam Rosen too. Yeah,
The not chosen Rosen.
I will say, guys. Next
Is that
week,
his name?
Josh Rosen, yeah.
Josh Rosen. Sam Rosen is a broadcaster. That's a whole different person. Anyway,
Next week we
I'm
have
gonna go lay down again.
Next week, by the way, I'm definitely going to be on the show Friday. We have a 10:30 a.m. kickoff for the Bahamas Bowl to kick off bowl season.
Oh,
So
God,
come ready for that. We're gonna end the show with a live bet for the people there. We're gonna do a deep
like
dive
that.
style and have an end of show live bet. We'll be 20 minutes into the game. UAB will probably be up 14-0 by then. We'll have something fun.
I like the idea of live betting the Bahama Bowl. I
Yeah.
love bowl season too.
The Bahamas
Yeah,
Bowl is.
it's-
I was telling Dan it's my favorite bowl. I love it.
Yeah, expect lots of college football over the next couple weeks as bowl season is upon us.
Check out the Blogger
And-
Bowl.
Check out the Blogger
Check us
Bowl.
out. We had a show yesterday. We're gonna have probably one show a week now going forward for the rest of bowl season, and
Fuck
then
you,
some stuff to
Brazil.
wrap it up. What happened?
No one scored in regulation.
Sorry, Andy.
Should just bet the under. God, I got cute with it. Oh,
What's your unit total at for the World Cup here? Because I know it was the Euro. You literally ended up exactly even, right?
yeah,
or was
I'm
that the
down.
women's Euro?
No, the women's Euro, I made like 12 units.
What was
Like
the one?
every-
Was it the men's Euro where you were dead even?
Yeah.
After.
Well, I was down 3 units going into the finals, so I bet 3 units on like Italy to raise the trophy at plus 105,
Okay.
and so I ended up like plus 1.15.
There you go.
No big deal. This one I'm gonna need to do some
Good for
digging.
flipping coins.
Yeah, no, the women's one I was just seeing it. I mean, like
Seeing the board, I love it.
things were
Locked
coming to
in.
me. Things were coming. Oh, and it also didn't hurt
So-
that I had the champions as my only future, and that came through.
That does help.
That's all you need. One
It's
bullet.
coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. All right. Hit the thumbs up. Have a great weekend, guys.
Let's go
I'm gonna
corner
go
kick.
celebrate.
Thank
my
you to our
wife's-
sponsor, Dayquil.
Yeah, I'm gonna go celebrate my wife's birthday tonight
Happy
and
birthday,
then
Andy's wife.
by getting a tree. We're gonna get a tree, and since the kids don't watch the show, also getting a puppy.
I thought
It
you
was
already
supposed
got
to be
a
a
puppy.
I know it. No, it's supposed to be a Christmas puppy, but the fuckers are growing too fast. They're like, you got to come pick one out and get it.
Oh, okay.
So I
Merry
might
Christmas.
I might just wrap it and be like, hey, you get to open one present early this year.
You're
And
going
it's a
to
goddamn
wrap.
puppy.
You're going
It's
to
making
wrap
a lot
the
of
puppy?
noise.
I have a big box. We have a big box, and then you pull the top off, and oh my fucking god, there's a puppy in there.
Poke some holes in there, Andy. It needs to breathe.
It's not gonna like it's not like hermetically sealed. This is not a Tupperware container. We're putting this.
Help
dog.
us out here, Dan.
All right, hit the. I like Noops calling for help on that.
I had to pull the curtain before we got too much of the animal abuse.